what you looking for? Yeah, I don't fuck with weed. Makes me anxious. But every time Lamar walks in smiling like that, I want to try it again.
It's HBO Max. To it, or if you or someone in your family had medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia.
So, this guy's meeting you off the Western Highway just before Polito Bay. You got any friends who, totally overreact when you say something? Well, my friend Avi's kind of like that. A few years ago, I told him there was a warrant out on him, and he goes all hermit, stealing food from trash cans, talking to the trees, jerking it with squirrels type hermit. I mean, I know guys who go into hiding and don't even change their golf club. Okay, slight change of plans. So, it would appear that some of Avi's paranoia might have been somewhat justified. Our call got picked up, they came after him, and he ran. Now he's holed up in a hut on some small island off the coast, surrounded by about 20 government agents. Much as I'd love to hang him out to dry, he's our only shot at this. Well, it's kind of our fault, so... So, I'm sending you to a rental place on Innocento Road. Pick up some sea sharks and get out to the island. He's not gonna come out of his hut until all the cops are gone. Gone, you understand? You might not want to let him know you're there till you've got it in hand. Oh yeah, and you're gonna need a boat to get him off the island. But I'm guessing the cops won't need theirs when you're done with him. Right.
I see you. I see you. I see you. That was easy. We didn't do anything.
Oh, never should have stuck my head out. It was cool. Don't answer the phone to Lester Crest. All right, all right. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I see.
Finley. Finley.
Tonight, calls to release the Epstein files are morphing into calls to have Ghislaine Maxwell.
Are you a cop?
I'm not a cop, I'm helping Lester. Have you done it?
What?
Has he done it?
Plus, a 25-year-old Gen Zer
Well, I don't have the specific
establishment in Arizona.
I don't have my
Election
tools.
result is just a
That
few moments
convenient.
away, and
I've
later,
got some tools.
Trump eyeing a
Come on.
controversial move to make
Lester will be
Texas
back at your
redder.
place. And don't
Just
worry,
in
the
time for the
transponder will be
midterms.
ready for the
Congressman
job.
Jasmine Crockett is in studio to respond tonight on Laura Goes Live. Trump appears to be unable to put that Jeffrey Epstein genie back in the bottle. If anything, the controversy is heating up and more intense even tonight. Because get this, there are now calls for Epstein's convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, to testify before Congress. Republican Congressman Tim Burchett tonight wrote a letter to the House Oversight Chair demanding as much, saying, quote, I respectfully respect you invite Miss Ghislaine Maxwell to testify in a public hearing before the committee. Should Miss Maxwell refuse the invitation, I encourage you to use subpoena powers. Now, Burchett is not alone in this, and Trump's attempts to have people move on don't appear to be working, which is much to his dismay.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
Anything that's credible, let them have it. Well, that would fall to the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, who today refused to take questions on Epstein.
Nothing about Epstein. I'm not going to talk about Epstein. I'm going to be here for as long as the president wants me here, and I believe he's made that crystal clear. No, I'm not going to talk about personnel matters. No, I'm not going to discuss personnel matters. I think we all are committed to working together now to make America safe again. Only on topic, guys. Our memo speaks for itself.
If that memo speaks for itself, then there is no client list of rich and powerful people. There is no evidence of blackmailing, and Epstein's cause of death was suicide. So that memo is saying, case closed. That's the government's official position. But it turns out that's not good enough for a lot of people, and I do mean a lot. Only 3% of Americans are even satisfied with what the government has shared on the case, and that's according to a new CNN poll. 3%. That includes someone who might actually have some power or influence. Talking about the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
we should put everything out there and let the people decide. Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, that were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody.
I think she thinks she did. Now, just when you thought the story couldn't get any more bizarre, Trump today introduced a completely new dynamic to it by blaming it all on some familiar political target.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax.
Almost like the old hits. It's a claim with zero evidence. And you know what? It's also a claim that not even his most fervent supporters are buying. Leading us off tonight is someone who knows this case inside and out, prominent women's rights attorney Gloria Allred, who has presented more than 20 alleged victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Gloria, welcome back. I have to ask you, Ghislaine Maxwell, as you know, is serving a 20-year sentence in federal prison for conspiring with Epstein to sexually abuse minors. Now, there are calls for her to testify in front of Congress. Would she put a lot of these questions to rest if she did? Because remember, she did not testify in her own defense for her criminal trial.
Yes, I think she could answer certain questions, Laura, that have not been answered prior to this. The real question, of course, is would she testify voluntarily, even without a subpoena? It may be in the process of an appeal from her conviction. Always possible that she would file habeas corpus, and I'm sure her lawyers would not want to interfere with that process by having her testify at this point. But she may wish to testify at another point if, as and when, her appeals are exhausted or any petitions are exhausted.
What would you want to hear from her if she were to speak before Congress?
Well, I would like to know more about Mr. Epstein's plan and scheme to prey on underage girls, to sexually traffic them, to recruit them. I'd like to know more about his emails, his texts, his electronic communications, anything that she can add that might lead to the truth of the matter. I'd also like to know what she knows, if anything, about his recording of victims, whether she knows anything about recording of images of victims in terms of sexual images of adults or child victims.
Absolutely stomach turning, just the content of what you are seeking. And I can only imagine what it's like for the victims who are hearing about a lot of this now. And actually, I want to go right there because a lot of this is being discussed in the political context, whether there's been documents released, whether there's been transparency, Democrats, Republicans talking about the campaign trail promises and beyond. But I wonder from your perspective, having represented dozens at this point of people who are connected with him, you're in touch with the alleged victims. What are you hearing from them that this is something that continue to be in the zeitgeist?
Well, it's traumatic and it's triggering for a number of victims to suddenly have all of this in the public eye again. I think many of them still want accountability. They still want the truth to come out. And they still would like to know more about the evidence. There is fear among some of them. Of course, I don't think that even though I'm in favor of transparency and have been, even with the last administration, I think many of them fear that if there were images recorded without their knowledge and without their consent, sexual images, they don't ever want those to be seen by the public. Some of them may not even have seen them themselves. They don't want their names out there made public. They would want that redacted. They don't want to be identified in any way, even without their names. that could lead someone to conclude who they are. Bottom line is they want their privacy. They want their privacy to be protected, but they would like to know more about not only what happened to Jeffrey Epstein, whether it was suicide, whether it was homicide, but exactly how he was able to engage in his scheme to prey on underage girls and adults and get away with it for so long. Many of them would also be interested in the names of others with whom he may have socialized or knew, who may also have been involved in exploiting or sexually abusing some of the victims.
Gloria, do you believe the Attorney General Pam Bondi that there's no there?
Well, what I'd like to see is the entire file of the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, who filed charges against Jeffrey Epstein. My experience with prosecutors is that they don't do that, and especially in a high-profile case, unless they have thoroughly investigated and are ready to present evidence which they believe might prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So I'd like to see the file. I probably for the first time ever concur with Speaker Johnson that the Department of Justice should release the file. I don't think that anyone should go through it and decide what's credible or not. I think the file should be released, but of course with the redactions to protect the victims wherever possible. So yes, and I think that should be done as soon as possible. Let the public decide.
Gloria Allred, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Joining me now, Republican strategist Lynn Stroper and Democratic strategist Amisha Cross. This has been captivating so many people. President Trump can't believe it is and wants it to stop. But Lance, you do have sources telling CNN that the president is privately urging aides to let this story essentially die down.
Forever card for our newest sleep yet. Your card never has to know.
Domino's has the best deal ever. Now until August 3rd, any pizza with any topping for $9.99. I got a secret menu item. It's New York's.
Let's go get the. Who that gonna get it? You wanna get me and I know. Go get your boy. Bitch, I bring my last tears out there.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Yeah. That's how I feel. The fuck?
Bitch, I ain't gonna lie. That's the door dance like that. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Mama got my ball. Mama got my bag. Mama got my bag. She did. Oh. Three bags. Go ahead and say it. It was three. He had 3 bags. She did say that. It was 2 bags. Yeah, 2 bags. Yeah, he just said he had 3. Really? I'm the mama kept a ball. Yeah, because if you miss it, you only got 2 boys around there. Mama said, since I made this drive, I'm going to get me a ball. That's nasty. Yeah, I'll take the receipt up there. Go get y'all ball. Because I know you're going to eat it. Bring my crab legs. I mean, my lobster tails out there, bitch. He said he put that shit sit down. Please don't make me get in my car. That's what he said. I heard him. He said, going back home, no trainee. Did you stop making that shit, bitch? That's what that man said. You took that shit up. Me? It's me, bitch. I'm not going to go back and forth with no nigga. He already said he's going to give it to him, so you said it's going to go what he said? What he said? I believe in me. The bag that was had to be. That's what they told him. Because if he said 2 boys in crab legs, where the bag is. Right, he said he had 3 bags though. Who said that? That ain't couple bags. Because we only got 2 bags. But then that's it. And you got the picture to prove it. Because I sent you the fucking picture. If it's all bunch of...
Okay, so you're going for the charges. So, you're gonna run what's known in the biz as a hijacking because you're hijacking a Meriwether convoy. The bridge is a nice tiny place to treat on. Not many places they can go. Plenty of options for you. You can station people at vantage points, block the road, and wait for them to roll into the trip. You can try to take out all the driver's points. Concentrate really hard, try to make the truck levitate with your minds. This is San Andreas after all. Do whatever you think will work, but let the truck and don't let anyone follow it. You're bringing it to Paige and Cream C so she can dig out the thermal charges. Oh yeah, and that reminds me. Try not to blow them up. Do not damage that truck at all, okay? I'll be in touch when there's a target about a click out from the bridge. They're on the way. Roll out some flypaper, start thinking some nasty thoughts, and do whatever you're gonna do.
Okay, how much trouble? I mean, no. I think that the guy needed like me, though. If you needed my people, you can't. Big easy. Don't talk about that. I love you, people. We can stick. I would eat the first one to eat. I am so worried about that. Like, I want to produce a show from so we could eat. I'll come out. That blood. Okay, okay. So we go eat. That, yo. That man is special. So we could eat. Hey. I'll go anyway. So we're going to do the other day, right back here. What's going to tell you that? Welcome to life. This guy, hey, that's what he said. Why you let me say that? That's what he wanted to say. Because he has nothing to say. You don't say that shit something like that. You say it out on the dead homegirl. The dead homegirl got to be dead. You're not that. But it's still on the road, though. Yeah.
You got the truck? Okay, bring Facebook page.
Yeah, that's
Satellite imagery, they know where you are and they're coming.
Which way you say? Now we gotta go help you customize and save hundreds of Liberty Mutual. Where's the golf cart? Do you want to try that? Go ahead. Break my bag. If I break that out, you know, I can get the shit. I can't get copies from my too. Oh, yeah. Potential. It does. The flavors are there. The salt is there. The salt is there. Oh, it's got garlic parmesan shit. And it's alright. Oh, thank you, baby. Baby girl.
Yeah, y'all, they so big, they still on the counter. So I had to film over here in the cut.
Uh-oh.
This that one that line working that green right there.
That thing got a big beat. Trust. Oh. That bitch got a blue. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute, Jaya. Hey, come on. So y'all gonna bring back my lobster tails? I hope that we're gonna get it remade once again, y'all. Y'all, this shit gonna be cold. Take the receipts. I'm going that clown that act like a transparent. I want all this remade. You watch that, bro. I want all this remade. Are you serious? Do you know who it's for? I don't know if it's in bedroom. Baby, don't say, I never know. I'm not that bored.
Yeah, so first of all, we've got to educate people. So thank you for having the conversation. This is bigger than just Texas. You know, a lot of people kind of look at this and be like, well, this is a Texas problem. No, it's an all of us problem. It's the entire country as well as the world that needs to be concerned. Because first of all, when we think about the fact that this administration has talked a lot about a third term, whoever controls the House is going to be the person who has to certify the election. So, you know, these guys don't play by any rules. They break everything. And right now, they're trying to not only rig the midterms, but potentially rig the next election by making sure that we have more of these complacent, complicit folk continuing to run the House because, honestly, they just do whatever he tells them to do. They don't do what the Constitution calls for, and they don't do what their oath calls for.
I'm old enough to remember, and young enough to remember, when gerrymandering was a horrible word. The idea of redrawing maps. Both sides hated that particular issue, Democrats, Republicans, although I do hear Governor Gavin saying that he is suggesting perhaps something similar. Should he?
Absolutely.
So it'll truly be tit for tat. Will that be respected?
You've got to meet the moment. You've got to meet the moment. And the reality is that we need to be in a fair position. Honestly, Donald Trump would not be causing the havoc that he's causing if it wasn't for North Carolina deciding that they were going to cheat as well. They ended up controlling the Supreme Court in North Carolina, and so they decided to redraw the line. When they redrew the lines, they added 3 seats for Republicans. It is not reflective of the people in North Carolina. Right now, you have 10 Republicans and 4 Democrats when it comes to the congressional makeup. But when you look at how the state voted, they barely voted a little bit over 50% for Donald Trump. But every other statewide election, governor on down, they voted for the Democrats. So it's a 50-50 state. And the congressional delegation used to be 7 and 7, reflective of the people. And so what we have now, though, is the state of Texas, ever since the Shelby v. Holder case, they have decided, you know what, thank you, hallelujah, because they have always been
Thank God.
intentionally discriminatory. When we ended up adding 2 new seats in the state
I didn't
of
have
Texas,
to do it. Thank God.
somehow that was because there were 95% people of color that were added to the state. But when it came down to it, somehow they worked around every single person of color that they could find to create 2 new Anglo seats. Right now, what they are going to do is they are going to further dilute the voices of black and brown people so that they can accomplish this sinister goal of making sure that they can squeeze out and cheat and get these people.
To remind people, of course, North Carolina is one of those states where a judge said with surgical precision they were using to try to gerrymander in this way. And of course, Shelby v. Holder rolling back the Voting Rights Act or Section 5, which continues to impact everyone even today. A big story right now that's happening, even aside from gerrymandering and redistricting, has been about what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein and the campaign promises that then candidate Trump was making about transparency. You were on the House Judiciary Committee. Democrats on that committee are calling for Trump administration officials to testify about how they've been handling this entire investigation. What would you ask them?
I mean, there's a long list. But I can tell you that I serve as the ranking member of oversight as the subcommittee on judiciary. We just had a hearing today, and they decided to go after our nonprofit organization. But what we did is we focused on what the American people want to hear about and what we should be doing, which is actual judicial oversight. And so we should be calling in Pam Bondi. We should put her under oath to testify in front of judiciary on the House side.
About Epstein?
About Epstein, absolutely.
What do you want to know?
Well, first of all, she said, oh, you know, I've got the files on my desk. Then the next thing you know, she said, well, wait a minute, there are no files. Which one is it? When were you lying? And why are you lying? What is the cover-up? We know that your boss indicated that he was going to release the files. What is the holdup on releasing the files? And how are you going to go about determining what is relevant, right? What is, I forgot the exact term that he used, but that's basically what he said, right? Like, what is going to be your process? But ultimately, I want to know not just about specifically the Epstein files, but how she is running this DOJ. Because I'm confident in the way that she is running this DOJ.
Because you're insinuating that somebody else is running it, or that she is a puppet, or what?
I believe that she's okay with violating the law. I believe that she's in all ways. When we talk about the firings, I have questions about the firings that she has done to so many of those people that work for the DOJ. Are you firing people in retaliation for them actually doing things that they should be doing?
So, Congresswoman, I have to ask you, I'm sure you perhaps have heard by now that President Trump had a lot to say about your colleague, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but also yourself as well. Listen to what he said.
Hey, I think she's very nice, but she's very low IQ. And we really don't need low IQ. Between her and Crockett, we're going to give them both an IQ test to see who comes out best. I took my test. I took a real test at Walter Reed Medical Center, and I aced it. I got every one of all those questions right. Now it's time for them to take a test.
What is your reaction to what he is saying?
It is absolutely ridiculous that I live rent-free in his mind in a time in which the American people are suffering. It's already been reported on as it relates to the inflation. We know that the job numbers were bad. We know that this big, ugly bill is going to directly harm so many people, not just the 17 million that are going to lose their health care, but everyone else whose health care premiums are going to go up because $1 trillion is being taken out of the health care infrastructure. There's a lot of things he could be working on, but for some reason, he is constantly focused on me. And personally, I've never met the man. I have no interest in going to the White House and meeting him. Or
that may surprise people that you never met.
I have never met him, but for whatever reason, I live rent free. And honestly, honestly, the biggest concern that I have is that every time he does something, he has minions that see it as a dog whistle. And then it only increases the attacks on myself as well as any other colleague. But he absolutely consistently buys into this idea or continues to put it out there that women of color somehow are low IQ. Let me be clear. I have a lot more education than he does. This is just what it is, degree-wise. I have earned my degrees. My daddy didn't have to make a phone call to get me into anything because that wasn't a possibility, okay? So we can stop playing games as if I am somehow lesser than, while he has somehow hoodwinked enough people to become president of the United States, mostly because they thought he was a good businessman, but that is just because he's a Nepo baby. I promise you, if I was a Nepo baby and maybe a man, that I probably could too be president rather quickly, even though I am unqualified. But he needs to focus on doing what he swore an oath to do, which was to take care of the people in this country. And right now, I have not seen any policy that is going to help the people writ large in this country. Congresswoman Crockett, thank you. Thank you. We got breaking news out of Arizona tonight. The polls are closed. Results are now coming in for a special House primary. The Democrats have been watching very closely. We got Harry Anson standing by live at the Magic Wall with the race call next.
Billionaire Boys Club, Sunday at 10 on CNN. Big box store employees juggle everything from paint to plumbing. At Empire Today, you work with an expert who specializes in flooring right in your home. And right now, get up to 40% off, no interest for 24 months, and no money down. That's right, up to 40% off, no interest, and no money down. Plus, we'll beat any competitor's offer, guaranteed. Call or visit EmpireToday.com and experience the home floor advantage. 800-588-2300. Empire!
I consolidated my debt with SoFi, and this is Ask Members Anything. How did SoFi actually help? By lowering my monthly payments and making my monthly payments actually matter. Consolidate your debt, get your money right. This month. Us. And everyone. Here we go with this territory seized rights. We're taking care of better patient outcomes. Now Sarah's grandma is a special day at the infusion center. She gets enough to get away from the cops. Especially months. This is Sarah. Government specialty services. They store the energy breaking to accelerate later on. The president always near this house. To innovate the education programs with all the students. Until you want to know you're breaking in. More kids are struggling with anxiety and depression. The hardships, kids falling behind the school, and the overuse of devices are all contributing factors. We must work together to empower parents to keep their kids happy and safe. Youth mental health is a difficult challenge. It requires a comprehensive research.
Typical salad. You choose to select entrees and keep them for dessert. Three courses starting at $14.99 at Outback for a limited time. Choose Advil liquid gels for faster, stronger, and longer-lasting relief than Tylenol rapid release gels. Because Advil targets pain and the source of inflammation. Pain relief, Advil, the pain relief.
That's the catcher.
What makes you think that's relief?
Call. Book an eye exam online.
Okay, good points. This is a quality, comprehensive exam. You asked me to top line it for you.
Okay. Bottom line?
Well, bottom line is, this is the biggest value. Wow. Get 2 pairs of glasses and an eye exam starting at $89.95, or 2 pairs of progressives and an exam for $159.95. America's best.
There's a bike each. We need all 4 for the job.
What's up? You seem kind of sluggish today. Please correct me. Okay. You could use some Metamucil. Metamucil plant-based psyllium fiber helps you feel lighter and more energetic by keeping your digestive system moving. It also helps support heart health by lowering cholesterol and healthy blood sugar level. Now you're moving. Looking good. Doing good. Metamucil keeps you moving. And try Metamucil Clear Fiber Blend.
Daily Digest of Health without grit or flavor. And
Why would I use him to get doctor trusted treatments delivered to me? I love pharmacy. Why wouldn't you give effective treatments for ED, hair loss, and pimples? I love those. Get treatment you'll actually love at Hills.
One second, they're a neighbor you love. The next, they're a neighbor you trust. One second.
Well, hi.
Thanks to ADT, there's a lot less to worry about. Feel secure enough to let others in. With trusted neighbor, ADT.
No! There's sharp waves someday. Dance with danger. Plunge for the giant. Just go for tonight. It's crunch time. Sharply starts Sunday at 8 on Discovery.
Breaking tonight, CNN is projecting Alita Grijalva will win the special Democratic primary to replace her father, the late ex-Congressman Raul Grijalva. Grijalva currently leads with more than 60% in a race many were calling a real test for Democrats. The top issues, age and generational change. She's being challenged by a 25-year-old activist and political influencer named Dave Clark. Her candidate has been leaning heavily on social media, appealing to a younger generation of voters. One of Chief data analyst, Harry Edgar, who's at the wall for us. Harry, what can you tell us about the results tonight in Arizona?
You said it at the top there, Ray. I got a little playback in my ear here, so I'm going to take my earpiece out and put it back in. Look, from Alba, blowing out, we're talking about a 40-plus point win. My goodness gracious, over 62%. You can see it on your screen here. Dark blue is Grijalva, and it's dark blue across the political map. What are we talking about? We go to the county with the most amount of votes, Pima County, Houma, Tucson. You see it there, very much matching up with what we see district-wide there with an over 40-point win. I think there were so many folks who were saying, oh, in New York City, Mondani was able to beat Andrew Cuomo. But here's the thing. Fox is not Mondani, and Grijalva is not Andrew Cuomo. And the whole thing that I should note in closing here is that Grijalva had the endorsements of both U.S. senators from Arizona, as well as from Bernie Sanders, as well as from AOC. So we were missing that left-center matchup that we really had in New York City.
Important to note, too, with a generational divide, Harry was really front and center in this race. How important is that issue, though, to Democrat voters?
Yeah, I would say this. Look, in this district, it obviously did not work out too well for Deja Fox. But if we talk about, the country as a whole, and we look at Democrats, right? Democrats' net favorable rating of Schumer and the Jeffrey average here. Democrats under the age of 45, just a +3 net favorable rating. Compare that to Democrats age 45 and older. They are far more favorable towards Democrats. And I think results in, days, weeks, and we look at who came out and voted. I really wouldn't be surprised if we had a much larger turnout from older voters versus in New York, where we had a historic turnout from younger voters. This is a heavily Democratic district. Kamala Harris won by over 20 points. So the fact that we have Grijalva winning this primary, she's probably as close to a shoo-in as possible in the general election. Of course, we'll have to wait and see.
We will. Harry, thank you so much for the information. I appreciate it. Joining me now, Matt Brodsky. He is a Democratic strategist and a partner at State Strategies. Also here, Amanda Lynn, national founder and president of Prime.
Ooh-wee. That car's fine as hell. Nice. Are these people really narrating me?
What? What? Uh-huh. That's what I thought. Bitch.
What's up, boss? Stay safe, boss.
What can I get you? Lamar always been a goofy motherfucker for real. Stay strapped.
I'm gonna wash my hair. And that's what needs to happen, really.
Okay. So, are you ready? This should be pretty easy. I've kept it simple since you all seem pretty simple. In a good way. In a good straight ahead, low IQ kind of. Oh no, let's stop it. Stop it. It's the new meds. Okay, armed robbery. Here we go. Whew. Here it is. Keep it simple. You go in heavy. You go in well armed. Some of you will do crowd control. The vault team will go downstairs, blow the first vault door with the thermal charges. Then use the card to get into the network and open the second vault door. And then look out, because you'll have about 2 minutes before every cop in town is waiting for you outside the bank. So you move fast. You get on the bikes, you split, and we meet at the rendezvous point, okay? Good luck, people. Nothing can go wrong.
Alright, here we go. The one we've all been waiting for. Alright, put your masks on when you get in the bank. Then crowd control. You're on, well, crowd control. You get in their faces. Shout at them. Shoot near them if you have to. Just try not to kill them. That would be cool. Demolitions, hacker, your first job's to subdue the guards. Again, try and do it without killing them. When that's done, go downstairs and hit the vault. I've given you special carbines with suppressors. Use them wisely. Like I said, this is a big deal, people. Don't fuck it up.
I don't know what he did. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Looking good, boss.
One and only. Got pretty much everything in here. Yeah, I wasn't that close when Frank was coming up, but I knew him a little. Always had respect for the dude. I mean, man, we went our separate ways for real, and now here we are.
Don't worry, it's no big.
I miss you.
I mean, it's just me acting, but I
Well, I think it must have been a wrong number. You take care now.
We broke up 2 years ago. You should have thought of that before you fooled around with my mom. Whatever, asshole. Lose my number.
I want to play. Hey, what's up, King Michael?
They're not really known for their love of sports bikes, I know, but the Lost Motorcycle Club has the ones you're after at their East LS clubhouse. Now, you almost there? Hey, you're after the sports bikes, not the choppers. The choppers will be fast enough to get you away from the cops, and if they were, they wouldn't be able to turn a corner. These bikes use a kinetic energy recovery system. They store the energy you use braking to accelerate later on. You'll burn the cops and save the environment while you're at it. Okay, as always, don't let them know you're breaking in until you want them to know you're breaking in. I'll kill you! bike each. We need all 4 for the job. When you've got them, stash them in the alley for the job. Sounds like the Lost are mobilizing their troops. A wrecked bike is no good to us, people. Stay out in front of them.
The worry about the safety, about the confidence motion. Well, President
A holiday, more to
do in
budget to not.
expenditures set for keep our tricky controversial cost-cutting measures as it tries to reduce its budget deficit and at the same
Ooh, commanding voice. I like it. Why are you hiding? I'm not hiding. I'm gaming.
burden our world and our defense effort cannot be avoided. A plan involving freezing most public
I usually get authoritative voice, but I'll take a commanding voice.
The state will put in place as a first rule to not spend not even €1 more in 2026 than in 2025, with the exception of the increase in the debt payments and additional spending for the military budget.
Prime Minister Francois Bakou also proposed getting rid of 2 public holidays on the 8th, which are the and Monday after Easter.
We have to work more. The whole nation needs to work more to produce for the country's entire country to become more significant and for taxes to get better. And so I propose that 2 national holidays be removed for the entire country.
A failure to get the French could lead to a major conflict. Well, President Trump, he campaigned on a promise to bring down persistent inflation, but it's only going up, hitting its highest level in June in nearly 4 months. Consumer prices on all items going up about 0.3%, pushing the annual inflation rate up to 2.7%. See there. The Consumer Price Index showing just how much inflation has been fluctuating over the past year. It also shows food and housing costs up 0.3 and 0.2% respectively. For gas prices, those went up for the first time in 5 months by about 1%. Donald Trump's shifting policy on student visas, it has sparked concern. Also plenty of uncertainty among international students, including those from China, who have or generate to strive to secure an Ivy League education in the United States. In fact, China, it is the second largest country of origin for foreign students in the United States. It is over education, the gold standard for generation, especially for students from China. This viral video, students getting accepted to Harvard and millions of views on social media. Chinese leader Xi Jinping study for good service style security. We want to have our students, but we want them to be checked. But the twist that turned that President Donald Trump's student visa policy, making even ordinary Chinese applying for visas feel whiplash. Devastation, frustration, and uncertainty and anxiety. First, aggressively provoked.
There's a bike each. We need all 4 for the job.
Great talks. He hosted many students union colleges, universities, and all. Is there an impression that the United States is an unfriendly place, an unsafe place? I think so.
Sounds like the Lost are mobilizing their troops. A wrecked bike is no good to us, people. Stay out in front of them.
Eric Johnson says he's helped place more than 1,000 Chinese students U.S. schools. These things are walking away. What are
The ceiling along the decade from the Trump administration,
You're in the clear. Drop the bikes in the alley. We're nearly to go.
of uncertainty.
He said the biggest factor losing about a third of his clients. Many of them are students on bikes. But they are out the loans. Recent graduate and former journalist Vidya says the Trump administration is sending mixed messages to China's rising middle class.
Yes, politically from the commanders, American patron system, especially as top universities, but at the same time, they also contribute greatly to research.
They also contribute financially. Many Chinese parents stay easily spending $80,000 a year or more. The roller coaster in Washington fueling Beijing's ongoing narrative that America is a declining power that grows increasingly paranoid.
I think the U.S. is very uncomfortable with the rise of China.
He says the U.S. degree, no longer seen by some as a passport to power, prestige, and prosperity, chipping away at the value of a U.S. education, perhaps America's global influence.
And during live campaign, Howard Bill Berkeley will, I think, a great story here, and ultimately the risks for various sectors here when students, foreign students, as you put it, walk away or forced to walk away. What are some of those risks, especially for sectors like tech, science, medical, etc.?
Yeah, it's a great point, Polo. I mean, put aside the $12 billion or so Chinese students contribute every year, and tuition and living expenses. Obviously, not here. China was the number one country for foreign students. India has now taken that top spot, but it's a huge amount of money. Obviously, that helps fuel innovation, AI, which is crucial right now. The U.S. and China just months apart in that race. Also, many of the best graduates are getting job offers in the United States, but they're staying. They're boosting the U.S. economy further. They're working in the United States on behalf of U.S. interests. So, the global influence, but also now those real-life, minute-by-minute type developments. And again, U.S. and China neck and neck. So, if students to go elsewhere, they're not going to be contributing to those things in the U.S. Yes, for some, ready is to return and connect with the military with what they learned in the United States. But experts say, despite the rare case of high death and successful things, overall the benefits of the U.S. outweighs any drawback. So certainly if there's this chilling effect and if it's no longer flying, that's a net loss for the U.S. and cultural competitive.
The impact appears that experts that students believe that the U.S., their families believe the U.S. is, as he put it, an unfriendly place. And certainly,
I mean, he's not wrong.
in Taipei. Appreciate your reporting. Well, amid a devastating tragedy, a story of survival still ahead here on CNN. We speak to the only person to survive a 2018 plane crash in Cuba.
In Cuba. In Cuba. In Colombia.
Awesome. Why?
In Colombia.
I started using Upside, the free app that gives you cash
Colombia.
for every gallon of gas you buy. Wait, are you saying you get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app? Yes.
In Colombia.
Cash back every time I get gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make around $200 to $300.
So what you looking for?
That's serious extra cash. Right? You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? It's like free money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now. Use this promo code and get an extra 25%
In Colombia.
Thanks.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. Download the free Upside app now. Earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code REPAIR25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank.
Did you download the Upside app yet? Yes, of course. I'm not passing up the reason. I want to earn real cash back now every time I get gas.
Just download the free Upside app and use promo code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. If you drive, you need Upside. Earn cash back on every gallon of gas you buy. Plus, you can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. So, whether you're driving around town a couple times a week or driving hundreds of miles every day, Upside is for you. Don't wait. Some Upside users are making as much as $200 to $300. Download the free Upside app and use promo code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Join me, Larry McDowell, as I introduce you to Africa's trendsetters. See how they use their talent, resources, and passion to make a difference on the continent. This is African Voices Changemakers.
Through action and impact, Dale Cato and educator Vidya are using sports to spark change worldwide.
Running just the people for what I'm doing as an activist.
African Voices Changemakers on CNN.
The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper, Emmy winner for Outstanding Recorded News Program 2 years in a row. This week, some of music's biggest names show Bill Weir the way star power can help combat a crisis. The Whole Story with Anderson Cooper on CNN.
I'm Rafael Romo in Atlanta. This is CNN.
Why would I use Hims to get doctor-trusted treatments delivered to my door? I love pharmacy lines. Why wouldn't you get effective treatment for ED, hair loss, and weight loss? I love Hims. Get treatment you'll actually love at Hims.com.
And 1 second, it's a pipe dream. And the next, it's a dream come true. 1 second, you know it's all protected. And then... Is everything okay? This happened this fast? Well, you still did.
In this family, there has to be drama. And this tradition.
Okay, we're gonna get this equipment. First up, you gotta collect the van from outside my garment factory. You've got the van, I'll come back to you with details on what to do next. You see, I've split a larger task up into a series of smaller, easily achievable goals. Got that from a management book. Does it make you like me more? Do you feel like you're working more effectively? Okay, at least you're not thinking about having to kill people. Damn it, I bet that's all you're thinking about now.
The National Weather Service began records in 1986. They saw the most ever issued in a single day in July as record rain flooded parts of the last month, but not that, miraculously walked away from that crash killed 260 people. 4 survivors. There's no prayer. Well, they paid you, I should say, but no one heard of. Back in 2018, a woman in Cuba was also the only person to survive a plane crash. It had gone in quite a recovery. Still. This
2018 plane crash on
You got the burrito? Alright, get over to the alley off Vinewood.
112 people died when immediately after takeoff, the weapon flight says killed 3.
Now we've got the same remote server set up in the back of this van, the white one, as the other heist crew has in the back of their van, the black one. And all that's missing from ours is their magic box. So you're gonna drive into the alleyway and swap their box into our van. Then the decoys will get into the black van, which is now empty, and drive off. And any heist crew that shows up think they've been robbed. The driver lets this heist crew chase the black van, waits until it's clear, and brings the equipment in our white van to Paige. That complicated enough for you? Good.
But they definitely admit that I'm alive by a miracle from God. It's not something you see every day. Video from the day of the crash shows an aircraft fragmented just over in pieces.
Okay, now take out the competition. The crew in the alley's gotta go before you swap across the equipment. They can't know which van the box is in.
You're in an unauthorized area. Leave now. Later on, maybe and that's when the ordeal began. I didn't have to run from the operation to recover from the operation. And every day, how it's the business. You don't have to you were saving your life. You're studying to get somebody else. This is the continue searching funds. So we discovered that what this is everything we got a man now. We get one way.
Alright, they clear? Now for the bait and switch. Put the equipment into our van.
Illegal movies are disappearing, but Legacy Book saves them before it's too late. Officially digitizing them by yearly events, protecting user space and the screen out forever. Downplay, you're easy to stream and ready to share with the click. Let's go in Pennsylvania. President Trump.
Siege, night on CNN.
We understand there is intense firefights that are ongoing. I just want to go home, she says. I want my belongings, clothes, and memories. Darling, we have a leader who's given a 5-year plan. It's difficult. It's some things to realize.
Okay, now one of you is taking our van and bringing it to Paige. The rest of you are waiting in the alley, taking anyone who shows up on a wild goose chase in the other van.
Where do I fit? If I'm having the brings all sides to the table with the biggest debates to wrap up with, then I think to say something but to keep it, it's going to be a really easy. Good. Then I'm on the same.
Second energy companies have committed more than $90 billion to create an AI hub. Let's go. Convenient. President Trump making the opportunity for the push. He wants a #1 superpower in artificial intelligence. Finance spread ducking.
Shit, backup's incoming.
Yeah,
Only flew away from the van with their equipment in it. Taking out this bullshit there's an alley with auto shoes. If he torch the van there, they might think it's anything.
For the election, a global crisis, AI era.
with really growing data centers, power that's really very full computers, electricity are actually paying data. We believe that we have to provide electricity output for society. Now, investment energy are all still investing around this goal of $90 billion of investment in Pennsylvania and most 20 European top business, Robin, Blackstone, Brookfield, Constellation, data centers, power utilities, power for AI work. For example, a data center doesn't get stood up overnight, but certainly it can see progress toward there's our base in
And it's time to celebrate the best of the best. We get it out of it. Okay? Second, what notice? The pit. They are hundreds this week's category. As comedy nominees, they could have winners like The Bear. So good watch out for this studio as the Hollywood film.
Okay, she's got the
And
stuff.
also,
Mission
that's
complete.
limited series category. I will hit lessons. That's cool. Here's the Penguin series. The Pit, White Lotus, Cats, The Penguin, all of them shown on HBO. Parents of CNN's, or at least part of CNN's parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery. I think we're joining us in the last 45 minutes or so. I'm Tony Sandoval, New York. We'll be right back here with more news at the top of the hour. Now that we're into sport.
Lunch is on me today. Awesome. Why? I have some extra cash right now. I started using Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Wait, are you saying you get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app? Yes, I get real cash back every time I get gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make around $200 to $300. Wow, that's serious extra cash. Right? You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? It's like free money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now. Use this promo code and get an extra 25 cents a gallon cash bonus on your first tank. Thanks.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5 grand. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. Download the free Upside app now. Earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code REPAIR25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank.
Did you download the Upside app yet? Yes, of course. I'm not passing up free money. I'm earning real cash back now every time I get gas.
Just download the free Upside app and use promo code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. If you drive, you need Upside. Earn cash back on every gallon of gas you buy. Plus, you can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. So whether you're driving around town a couple times a week or driving hundreds of miles every day, Upside is for you. Don't wait. Some Upside users are making as much as $200 to $300. Download the free Upside app and use promo code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Explore Africa with CNN, where 54 nations create the fabric of this rich continent. Leading events, discover business, economic trends, really leadership something here. Nature and culture, and the stories shaping Africa today.
Export it to markets around the world. The energy is amazing. It feels so good to be here.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Happiness couldn't be true any longer. You want to know how? On my podcast, Chasing Life, I'm uncovering the secrets of people around the world
who are living happy, healthy, extraordinary lives. Hear how they do it and the science behind why it works. Join me as I reveal their secrets and discover how we can chase life together. Listen to Chasing Life with me, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, wherever you get your podcast.
The Gupta.
Story with Anderson Cooper, Emmy winner for Outstanding Recorded News Program.
The Gupta.
Currently, the U.S. is doing virtually no trading with Russia, so any new tariffs would not have much of a practical effect. Russia's foreign minister essentially brushing off the economic threats.
50 days. It used to be 24 hours. It used to be 100 days. We've been through all of this.
Let's get now more from CNN's Kristen Holmes, who's at the White House.
President Trump on Tuesday appeared to rule out sending long-range missiles to Ukraine, despite recent conversations with Ukrainians in which he asked what they were capable of doing, including if they were capable of striking Moscow or St. Petersburg. Now, in those conversations, CNN is told that the Ukrainians were stunned and that Zelensky at that point had said that they would be able to do that if they had the right weaponry. Of course, right now, it seems as though President Trump is not looking at that in terms of sending them offensive missiles. Now, when speaking to reporters, President Trump also defended his 50-day time period to get Russia to the table. Here's what he said.
I don't think it's a long time. A lot of opinions change very rapidly. It might not be 50 days. It might be much sooner than 50 days.
But of course, just a reminder, that announcement came on Monday as President Trump said that he was going to issue these 100% secondary tariffs on countries that did business with Russia.
I don't know.
If Vladimir Putin did not come to the table. Now, President Trump said he had not spoken to the Russian president since he made that announcement. He also said that when he speaks to Putin on the phone, when he has conversations with him, that the Russian president indicates that he wants peace, but that President Trump has come to believe that it's all just talk. Now, this is all part of what we have seen in the last several weeks, which is a growing frustration, both publicly and privately, when it comes to his relationship with Vladimir Putin and the war in Ukraine. One of the things that he said that he would be able to end upon getting into office almost immediately. That has been proven harder for him to be able to do, and something that has made him angry, particularly when it comes to the Russian president. So what happens next, of course, is the big question. But as we know, those Patriot missile systems are already going to Ukraine from Germany. The United States has got to start ramping up their production of that to send them back to that country as a backfill. It's all part of this new weapons deal that President Trump also announced on Monday. Kristen Holmes, CNN, the White House.
All right, from the White House, let's now bring in Mick Ryan, who's a retired Major General in the Australian Army and a senior fellow for military studies at the Lowy Institute. He's also the author of the book, The War for Ukraine, Strategy and Adaptation Under Fire. The General joining us at this hour from Brisbane, Australia. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you.
So these new weapons that we just heard Kristen talk about, General, that are coming from the U.S., headed to Ukraine, or at least destined for Ukraine, I should say, how could they potentially impact the war? And what do you think will be the likely targets for the Ukrainians?
Well, the big important weapons are the Patriot interceptors. The most compelling problem the Ukrainians have is intercepting Russian ballistic and cruise missiles with big warheads do a lot of damage, and they're harder to shoot down than Shahed drones. So that will have an impact. Now, getting them there as soon as possible is important because you're always running short of those kind of interceptors in these kind of situations.
Now, in terms of the importance of these Patriot air defense missiles, I mean, how vital are they for Ukraine? You mentioned some of these weapons are harder for some of the counterstrikes, but when you specifically talk about these Patriot air defense missiles, just can you expand a little bit more on the importance there?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's very few weapons that can intercept these very destructive Russian weapons. The Europeans have a system called IRIS-T, but it's not made in the same quantity. I'm not sure it's the same quality of Patriot. So really, Patriot is in a class of its own. Unfortunately, there are a lot of demands for Patriot systems, not just from Ukraine, but in the Middle East, as well as in the Pacific, where countries are worried about Russia's very large and expanding, China's large and very quickly expanding long-range missile threat as well.
General, I'm sure you heard the reports before we got to you of yet another launch of attacks from the Russians on the Ukrainians. So it's a reminder that almost every day seems to bring yet another strike. So keeping in mind this 50-day ultimatum that's been set by the White House, how much more damage can Russia inflict on Ukraine, remembering what just happened over there?
Well, they can do a lot more damage.
Because I'm not driving.
The attacks on the
So you're gonna run what's known in the biz as a hijacking because you're hijacking the Merryweather convoy. The bridge is a nice, tidy place to get it done. Not many places they can go, but plenty of options for you. You can station people at vantage points, block the road, and wait for them to roll into the trap. You can try to take out all the drivers at once. You can concentrate really hard.
This threat coming from President Trump directly in the Kremlin. We all know that the Russian state media previously portrayed the president as, in essence, somebody that might be friendly with Russia.
But then now you hear this new threat being issued. So I'm curious what you think will be the general response among Russians.
Well, I don't think the Russian government or Putin sees anyone as their friends, even though state media might have portrayed Trump as such. And they have been dealing with Trump now for several months. They've seen him be negative towards him and backtrack. So at the moment, they seem to be acting as if talk is cheap, and they'll wait for the action to follow.
Retired General Mick Ryan, thank you so much for your expertise.
Thank you.
On to another conflict now. The UN says that there must be accountability for the mass shootings of Palestinians that were seeking aid in Gaza, demanding investigations into each and every one of those killings. Now, this comes as a new video has emerged of machine gun fire near an aid site over the weekend. Our Paula Hancock says more, but first a warning that some of the images that are part of the report are disturbing to watch.
New social media footage has emerged showing machine gun fire near an aid distribution site in southern Gaza. Now, this refers to an incident that happened on Saturday where the Palestinian Ministry of Health said that at least 30 people were killed while waiting for aid. Videos from the nearby NASA medical complex also showed rows of bodies covered in white shrouds. Now, this social media video shows Palestinians calling for safety, as you can see bursts of gunfire hitting the ground just meters away. The source of the gunfire is not seen, but multiple eyewitnesses have said that it was the Israeli military that was firing upon those who were waiting for food. Now, we've asked the Israeli military. They have said that details of this video are under review. They did say on Saturday, though, that the Israeli gunfire did not result in any deaths or injuries. Now, this particular site is about half a mile, some 800 meters away from one of the distribution sites of the controversial GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. It is a US-Israeli-backed initiative.
As of the 13th of July, we have recorded 875 people killed in Gaza while trying to get food. 674 of them were killed in the vicinity of GHF sites. Now, the data we have is based on our own information gathering through various reliable sources, including medical, human rights, and humanitarian organizations.
The UN and humanitarian are calling for the district.
What you doing, Dumbo?
So once again, through the UN-run groups on the ground, saying that aid distribution in Gaza has become a death trap. Paula Hancock, CNN, Abu Dhabi.
In Israel, has launched strikes against forces in southern Syria. This is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who says that his military is protecting the Druze minority in the area. Syria's military and center is strongly for the news community following deadly clashes between Jewish forces and Bedouin tribes in the area, which actually sits in what Israel has unilaterally declared a demilitarized zone in southern Syria. The weekend clashes killed dozens of people. The Syrian government lost 18 soldiers after intervening in the violence. The Israel Defense Forces said on Tuesday that it struck Syrian military vehicles moving toward Suwaida. Israel has accused Syria of violating a demilitarization policy of moving military equipment into the zone. Syria has rejected Israel's declaration of a demilitarized zone. Still ahead here on CNN Newsroom, mixed messages from the Trump administration. They have left Chinese students uncertain over the future of higher education in the United States. On that,
Lunch is on me today. Awesome. Why? I have some extra cash right now. I started using Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Wait, are you saying you get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app? Yes, I get real cash back every time I get gas. Does that actually add up to anything? I'll make around $200 to $300. Wow, that's serious extra cash. Right? You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? It's like free money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now. Use this promo code and get an extra 25 cents a gallon cash bonus on your first tank. Thanks.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right, you can earn real cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. Download the free Upside app now. Earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code REPAIR25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank.
Did you download the Upside app yet?
Yes, of course. I'm not passing up free money. I'm earning real cash back now every time I get gas.
Just download the free Upside app and use promo code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. If you drive, you need Upside. Earn cash back on every gallon of gas you buy. Plus, you can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. So whether you're driving around town a couple times a week or driving hundreds of miles every day, Upside is for you. Don't wait. Some Upside users are making as much as $200 to $300. Download the free Upside app and use promo code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code REPAIR25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. VCRs are extinct. Film reels are fading. Home photos won't last. Your old home movies are disappearing, but Legacy Box saves them before it's too late, professionally digitizing them right here in the U.S., protecting your memories and preserving them forever. Simply, they're easy to stream and ready to share with a click. Join the millions of families who have trusted Legacy Box today.
When Lila was ready to sell her ring, she sent it to Worthy, where they took care of everything and auctioned it on her terms. Then Worthy sent Lila her money. You're worthy of more. Get started at worthy.com. Precise designs, subtle curves, curated upgrades, elevated design for thoughtful living.
Grief isn't talked about much, but that's what my podcast is all about. Join me and my guests for each season. New conversations about loss, life, and love. All There Is with Anderson Cooper. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta in New York, and this is CNN.
I'm Richard Quest. I love traveling the world. Riding the mind around the heart. I'm not sure yet. It's time to embrace new adventures. Get it started. Like I've never seen it before. Seize the moment. This world of wonder.
That part.
Only on CNN. Looking to recharge your body and soul? Taiwan is your next stop.
from world-class cycling trails.
I have to think this is one of the most beautiful places to bicycle.
To the ancient art of oolong tea.
Oolong.
Traditional can carry on through the
Oolong.
And an e-commerce travel platform for rejuvenating experiences.
We try to make Taiwan be the place for everybody.
Next stop, this weekend on CNN.
Oolong.
Welcome back. The French government has unveiled a number of austerity measures as it tries to reduce its budget deficit and at the same time increase military spending. The French Prime Minister said particular dangers burden our world and our defense effort cannot be avoided. His plan involving freezing most public spending and making around $50 billion in cuts.
Et c'est tout d'abord l'État qui va montrer. The state will put in place as a first rule to.
Nuh-uh.
Too long.
No, fuck not.
Economic data pointing to a
No, the
slight
fuck
rise in
not.
U.S. inflation, but experts say even worse pain might be on the horizon for consumers. And companies are pledging billions of dollars in infrastructure, hoping to fulfill President Trump's goal of making the U.S. a superpower in artificial intelligence. We begin with Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv coming under a massive Russian attack overnight. The regional military chief says that they detected at least 17 explosions occurring in the span of just 20 minutes. We know of at least 2 people who were injured. U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed on Tuesday that the new Patriot defense missiles that we've heard so much about, that they are now on their way to Ukraine. He says he is not looking to give Kyiv long-range missiles that could strike targets deeper into Russia. He says Ukraine should not target Moscow. Remember, according to a source, President Trump reportedly asked President Zelensky about Ukraine's ability to hit Moscow and St. Petersburg. A question first reported by the Financial Times. More on that in just a moment. Meanwhile, President Trump is also defending his decision to give Russia another 50 days to make peace with Ukraine or face a 100% tariffs, along with secondary sanctions on Russia's trading partners. Currently, the U.S. is doing virtually no trading with Russia, so any new tariffs would not have much of a practical effect. Russia's foreign minister seems to brush off the economic threat.
50 days? It used to be 24 hours. It used to be 100 days. We've been through all of this.
And there are fears that President Trump's 50-day window for a peace deal is essentially green light for Russian President Vladimir to increase attacks on Ukraine. CNN's Matthew Chance is in Moscow with those details.
Yeah, well, despite what President Trump says about the length of that time being significant, it does provide a sort of quite a lengthy period in which the Kremlin can continue to
Bitch.
Ukraine without facing any immediate consequences or any further consequences. It won't be until after that 50-day period is over that it faces tariffs or secondary sanctions on countries that do trade in its oil. And if you're in Kiev right now, facing a daily nightly barrage of Russian missile attacks, it must seem like an alternative. There are other reasons too. Firstly,
What? Do it.
that in 50 days a lot can change on the ground in terms of the military situation.
What I thought.
Russia could be in a much more advantageous position in 50 days from now than it is at the moment. Secondly, and perhaps most importantly, when it comes to President Trump, 50 days is an extraordinarily long period of time. And I think
How you like it, bitch?
that within that period, the US President could change his mind again about the country. And the Kremlin said it took the
How you like it, bitch?
kind of offensive weapons very seriously from President Trump. I mean, they would have been placated by the fact, put at ease by the fact that President Trump has ruled out long-range missiles, played down.
Yeah, bitch, how you like it?
Moscow and St. Petersburg, big major Russian cities with those missiles. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly it's not a question of whether the Russians would be concerned of it though. It's a question of whether that kind of suggestion of President Trump
That's how much I got you. You got me.
policy. Will it make Russia rethink its ability or its willingness to pursue it more. And there's no suggestion we're getting from Russian officials at the moment that anything President Trump said is going to deflect the Kremlin from its military objectives in Ukraine.
Let's now bring in Nick Ryan, who's a retired Major General in the Australian Army and a senior fellow for military studies at the Lowy Institute. He's also the author of the book, The War for Ukraine, Strategy and Adaptation Under Fire. The General joining us at this hour for First Business today. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you.
So these new weapons that we just heard Kristen talk about, General, that are coming from the U.S., headed to Ukraine, or at least destined for Ukraine, I should say, how could they potentially impact the war? And what do you think would be the likely target for the Ukrainians?
Well, the big important weapons are the Patriot interceptors. The most compelling problem the Ukrainians have is intercepting Russian ballistic and cruise missiles with big warheads that do a lot of damage, and they're harder to shoot down than Shahed drones. So that will have an impact. Now, getting them there as soon as possible is important because you're always running short of those kind of interceptors in these kind of situations.
Now, in terms of the importance of these Patriot air defense missiles, I mean, how vital are they for Ukraine? You mentioned some of these weapons are harder for some of the counter strikes, but when you're specifically
All right, I'm going to bed.
Patriot air defense missiles, just can you explain?
Oh God, I have to get up early as fucking morning. Oh my God, it's so rude.
Intercept these very destructive Russian weapons. The Europeans have a system called Iris-T, but it's not made in the same quantity. I'm not sure it's the same quality as Patriot. So really, Patriot is in a class of its own. Unfortunately, there are a lot of demands for Patriot systems, not just from Ukraine, but in the Middle East, as well as in the Pacific, where countries are worried about Russia's very large and expensive...
All right, y'all, I'm going to bed because I'm tired. And I have to get up like super early now because where I live, like one of the bridges is out. So we only have like 1.5 bridges right now instead of 2.5 bridges.
So keep in mind this 50-day ultimatum.
So yeah, I'll see y'all. Well, it is Hump Day. Happy Hump Day.
Remembering what just happened.
Have fun. Be safe. Whatever y'all plan on
They can do a
doing.
lot more damage, unfortunately, and worse still, they can kill a lot more Ukrainians. The Russians have really accelerated.
I will see y'all
attacks on Ukraine with drones and missiles over the last
later today.
We've seen these 700, 500 drone raids. In some respects, Putin is doing it because he's not getting success.
So. It'll be late, I think, but I think I'll still see y'all.
But he may have miscalculated.
All right. Good night. Have fun. Sleep tight.
Trump to confront Putin and send this additional assistance, not something we